What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Midnight Mic. This is the Tuesday edition of the Midnight Mic. Yesterday was Labor Day, so I did not work on Labor Day just to celebrate Labor Day. But guys, welcome to the show. And we're here. We have some great topics to talk about today. We're talking about Trent Williams. We're talking about Brandon Aiyuk. We're talking about the 49ers coming back together and being 100% as they head to week one against the New York Jets Monday night. Guys, I cannot wait for the season to start, and it starts this Thursday with Ravens-Chiefs, and I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game. You know, the Chiefs have no love for the Chiefs, or the Ravens have no love for the Chiefs, that is. So that should be a really, really, really good game. I'm really looking forward to that. But overall, though, I'm excited for the Niner football. It's right around the corner. We're about a week away, less than a week away, from the beginning of the Niners 2024 season. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're live on Instagram, on YouTube, and we're live on X as well, I believe. Are we? Yes, we are. And you're live. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're live everywhere. Okay, so, guys, with that being said, let's move on to our first topic of the night. And let me tell you, it's a big one. Trent Williams, the 49ers and Trent Williams have agreed to a restructured 3-year, $82.66 million deal with $48 million at signing and $25.69 million via a signing bonus per his agents. God damn! That's a shit ton of money. My goodness. He just got a fat bag of money, and I think he's fucking thrilled about it, too. I mean, who wouldn't be at this point? I mean, damn. That's a lot of fucking money. A lot of fucking money. And he deserves it. He's the best offensive lineman in the game right now. Without a doubt, the best offensive lineman in the game. Best left tackle, that's for sure. And so he deserves every penny of it. And there's no way the Niners could have taken on the Jets without him. I'm sorry, they couldn't do it. They could not. You got Quentin Williams on that defensive line. Maybe Hassan Reddick, I'm not sure. But overall, that defense is good. That secondary is even better. Even better. So you needed to have Trent Williams. You needed your best left tackle out there, and that's what they did. They restructured his contract. They got it all done for 3 years. I thought for sure it'd be like at least 2 years, but we're getting 3 more years out of Trent Williams. And he even said later on, in an interview that he wants to play until he's 40, which I think is incredible. Absolutely incredible. But Trent Williams has re-signed his restructured deal with the 49ers, and he will be ready for week one against the New York Jets Monday night, and it's going to be fucking epic. I cannot wait for that. Absolutely cannot wait. It just feels so good knowing that we got Brandon Aiyuk back. We got Trent Williams back on top of everybody else that we brought in. And I've heard some talk today about how, the Niners just kind of kept everyone together. They didn't actually add anybody to make our team better. I disagree. I think we made our team better by getting rid of Eric Armstead and his contract. We got Jordan Elliott and Malik Collins. We turned one guy into 2. And now it gives us more flexibility, gives us more depth as well. So overall, I think we got better. Renardo Green as your outside, or as the, I guess, for the quarterback, the left cornerback, and you got Charvarius Ward on the other side, Demo Lenore in the slot, Fred Warner, Campbell. That was a great pickup, by the way. Now we have 2 experienced linemen or linebackers out there. It's going to be good. Going to be real good. Not to mention Talanoa Hufanga coming back. Probably not week 1. I would imagine he's going to come back probably week 2, week 3, once he gets more work in, which I'm looking forward to that, because seeing Huff back on the field, it just looks so good. And you got Jair Brown. The guy's killing it out there. Absolutely killing it. But let's go to the podium. And let's hear what Trent Williams had to say after his first practice with the 49ers today over in Santa Clara. So let's go over to that right now.
Obviously this deal is done to get it out the way, but, how I've always conducted myself after signing the deal, I've never thought about what I signed for. I thought about what I could get next and how could I prove that I'm worth that and how can I prove that I'm worth more? How could I, so that's kind of go right back to that, getting this deal out the way. And, I want to play until I'm 40. I want to be, seeing Whitworth win the Super Bowl at 41 or 42. It's like, why not me? So who knows if you get compensated at the top of your position at the age of 40. But, I don't think that matters. To me, if I can still be out there, I just want to continue to knock barriers down.
And that's great. I mean, look, he says he wants to continue to knock down barriers. He wants to play till he's 40, 41. I say as long as he's in great shape and he can still do the job, fuck yeah, dude. Keep him on the team for as long as possible. 3 years. I can't wait. I think this is the year. This is the year the Niners win it all, and I am so excited for it. Because, God damn it, they got to win it. I don't know how else to say it. They got to do it, dude. They got to do it. And I think this is the year they're primed to do so. So let's take a look at some more news about the Trent Williams contract, courtesy of Adam Schefter. And here it is right here. So it says compensation update. 49ers are guaranteeing the next 2 years on Trent Williams' contract, equating to $48 million, including the addition of $7.6 million in salary this season. Williams has 3 years remaining on his contract. He will make $27.65 million in cash this season, the most of any offensive lineman, and he deserves it because he is the best offensive lineman out there, and he knows it. And he was like, hey, look, I'm not going to come back until you guys pay me as the best offensive lineman out there. And that's exactly what he got. He got the contract he was looking for. He got the guaranteed money he was looking for. And now he's ready to kick some ass. And I cannot fucking wait. Guys, if you're watching on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. If you're watching on X, follow this account on X. And if you're watching on YouTube or even on the other two, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, because that always feels good. Check out Nicotina.net. Nicotina.net is the homepage for all 3 of my YouTube channels, including Jury Area Sports. And guys, tune in tomorrow. It's going to be the maiden voyage, the first broadcast of the NorCal Sports Report. It's going to be over on IE Sports Radio Network. I've joined forces with IE Sports Radio, and I'll be live on IE Sports Radio tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the NorCal Sports Report. We're going to be talking Niners. We're going to talk a little bit of Giants, talking a little bit of Warriors, everything NorCal, as much as we possibly can fit into 1 hour. That's what we're going to do. So check me out tomorrow, IE Sports Radio, the NorCal Sports Report. It's going to be badass, dude. Definitely check that out. Check it out. But, so, now we know that Trent Williams is going to be back with us, which I think is fabulous. You got to have Trent Williams out there. If they went out there without Trent, if they went out there with Jalen Moore, that would have been a crime. And he's a good player, but you got to have Trent out there. You gotta have Trent. But let's take a look at the contracts, and let's see what they've done so far in terms of the overall contracts on the team. So let's go ahead and bring that up right now. So notable contracts. And here we go. So we got Nick Bosa making the most at $34 million. He's first in his position. Brandon Aiyuk making $30 million. He's fifth in his position. Trent Williams, third in positional rank. Deebo Samuel, 14th. Now, Trent Williams is not exactly accurate because that actually went up. So, Debo at 14th, Hargrave, 21 million. Fred Warner is the second highest paid linebacker. Christian McCaffrey is number 1 at $19 million. George Kittle third at 15 million. Kyle Juszczyk first at $4.5 million. Poor, that's just a shame that the fullback position is down to just $4.5 million. That's the highest paid fullback. That position has gone the way of the dinosaur. And then Brock Purdy, check that out, $934,000. He's the 79th highest paid player in the league. $934,000, under $1 million. Now, for anybody else, that's, man, God, if I was just making $934 million or $1,000, I would be happy as hell. But we know next year he's going to get a huge pay increase. Huge. And that could go up to $30 million, $40 million, who knows? That's going to be a fat contract that he has coming his way. But a lot is riding on that contract, especially this season. If he performs the way he did last year, he's going to get that contract without a problem. If he struggles, maybe he doesn't get as much as he thought he would get. But to me, in order for his contract to dip, he would have to have a pretty terrible season. He would have to badly underperform, which I don't think Brock will. He's too much of a competitor. He's too good of a quarterback to do that. So yeah, he's going to get a fat contract next year. But the way that they've designed these contracts, they've backloaded Brandon Aiyuk's contract. So for the next 2 to 3 years, we have the flexibility to give Brock Purdy that contract and be able to add more players. So the Niners have done an amazing job. Parag Marathe has done an amazing job manipulating that salary cap to set them up for the next 2 to 3 years. Now, guys like Javon Hargrave, maybe he doesn't stick around. Maybe he goes elsewhere. Maybe they cut ties with him in order to save some money. We'll have to see and find out. But already they've taken the steps to make sure that financially they're in a good spot and that financially they can afford to keep this team together. Because this team is in their Super Bowl window and they do not want to miss out on that. Remember, you got guys like Aaron Banks, Mooney Ward, Demo Lenore. These guys' contracts are all coming up. Dre Greenlaw. So they had to make sure that they can afford these players. They had to. Absolutely had to. But that wasn't it. There was more movement on the salary cap. Let's take a look at that. Because Deebo Samuel, he made some adjustments to his own contract to help out the Niners. Let's take a look. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Right here. The Niners restructured Deebo Samuel's contract, creating an additional $16.4 million in cap space per Field Yates. So that's another $16.5 million that they freed up, which is incredible because they already have one of the most expensive rosters in the NFL. Not only that, we have one more breaking news. Malik Collins. The 49ers converted $6.79 million of Malik Collins' salary into a signing bonus. That frees up $5.432 million in cap space in 2024. The San Francisco 49ers are now the number 1 ranked team in the available cap space at $50.5 million, heading into week 1 per Sport Track. $50 fucking million, $50.5 million they have freed up in the cap. And they're one of the most expensive teams, expensive rosters out there. Talking about Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, Brandon Aiyuk, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, all these stars. And we have the most cap space of any team out there at $50.5 million. How can you say that this organization doesn't know what the fuck it's doing? This organization is killing it right now. The front office is killing it right now. Opposing teams see this, and they're like, man, fuck those Niners. But you better damn believe this team is going to stick around for a while. This is not going to be a team that spends a bunch of money one year, gets to a Super Bowl, and then the next year they just sell everything off. It's like, all right, we're done. We tried. We tried to buy our way through. No. This team is built to last for a long time. A very, very long time. And so it excites the hell out of me to see what they've done with the organization and how they become even stronger financially. Let's take a look at this tweet here. This is from 49ers and NFL News 24/7. They write, breaking, the 49ers have roughly $60 million, and we said earlier it was $50.5 million in salary cap space. The intent is to carry it over to 2025 season with several key free agents looming, none bigger than and more expensive than the franchise quarterback of Brock Purdy. Now, I wonder how much he's going to get. I wonder, because that's a lot. That's going to be a lot of fucking money. But I think he's well worth it. When you look at what he's been able to accomplish in 2 years, being the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, led his team to 2 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl. However, I say that, but remember, the last quarterback to lead us to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl was Colin Kaepernick. And we saw what happened to him. But this is a difference. This is different, though. Brock Purdy is not Colin Kaepernick. Brock Purdy can process the defense. Brock Purdy can dissect a defense. He has touch. He has timing. And those are some of the things that Colin Kaepernick didn't have. Yeah, Kaepernick had the big arm, and he was athletic. So was Brock. But I would say the big arm is what he has that Brock doesn't have. But Brock makes up for it in all the things that he does. All the traits, all the skills, everything that he does. And I would rather have Brock Purdy than Colin Kaepernick. That's for damn sure. But, don't take anything away from Cap. He was just doing what he could do. It is what it is. So now we see that both Brandon Aiyuk, Trent Williams are back at practice, back with the team over in Santa Clara. And I think today was probably one of the most heartwarming days for any Niner fan so far this offseason. Because the team was all together and it felt so good knowing that everyone was there. And I mean everyone was at the facility today, which is incredible when you think about how Ricky Pearsall was shot this past Saturday in Union Square, leaving an autograph signing. A kid tried to rob him, and in the process, got into a struggle with Ricky Pearsall, and Ricky got shot in the chest. The robber, the young kid, he got shot in the forearm, and he was apprehended as well. Very, very sad story. But Ricky Pearsall, after going to the hospital, went home the very next day, which I was surprised. I was like, wow, he actually went home. That's incredible. The guy has guts. The guy has grit. The guy is strong. Ricky Strong. That's what I call him. Ricky Strong. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, so he's back at home. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. I think he's going to take it easy. He's going to be at home with his family, and that makes sense. I mean, who wouldn't do that, right? Who wouldn't do that? But little did we know, there was more to Ricky than meets the eye, and we found out today, courtesy of Tim Ryan, that Ricky Pearsall was back at the facility early this morning. Incredible. Ricky Pearsall has already gone back to work at the Niners team facility. Tim Ryan said on KNBR that he saw Pearsall in the 49ers weight room and that Pearsall talked to Ryan and his teammates about what he went through. Now, I don't think he was in there lifting weights, but he went down there to go be with his team. And I think that's fucking badass. I love that. This guy has shown so much heart, so much grit, so much determination that I can't wait for him to recover and rejoin the Niners on the field. But this is just absolutely incredible. I'm telling you, I would not have thought that Ricky Pearsall would be back with the Niners in this short amount of time. It's really incredible. Most people, I would figure, would be, away from the game for a couple of weeks maybe. But this guy's back already at the facility, around the players, around the team. Now, how long was he there for? I'm not sure. I don't know if he attended meetings and all that. But still, I mean, that's fucking badass, dude. I absolutely love that about Ricky Pearsall. I got a good feeling about this guy. What's up, Steve-O? I got a good feeling about this guy, and I think he's got a lot of the not only tangibles but intangibles that make him a great leader in the locker room. So hats off to Ricky Pearsall for coming back as soon as he did. And I can't wait to see him, and I wish him a speedy recovery as he works his way back after being shot in the chest by a robber trying to get his Rolex. And to find out that the shot missed all vital organs, hey, that's great. I mean, shit, man. That would have been terrible if he got shot like that. I mean, oh my God. Just absolutely horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. But not only that, Trent Williams actually had something to say about Ricky Pearsall in an interview today, the same interview we saw earlier. Let's take a look at that. Let me see. Pull this up. There it is.
Honestly, to be real, I felt more compelled to come back after that than anything, because I've never experienced that, like, in my playing career, to have a teammate shot, so to speak. So in my mind, I'm like, man, I just want to get back, get around the team. Like, Ricky stood out to me because when I popped in for OTA for 30 minutes I was here, he did, like, go out of his way to come and introduce himself to me, in which I was, obviously we was going to meet each other eventually, but I'm getting there. There's 90 guys on the team, just walking out. I don't really know everybody just yet. So for him to come up and kind of introduce, and I just instantly felt his vibe, and could just feel he's such a genuine person. So as soon as I seen that happen, I'm like, man, I just want to give back. I just want to be a voice in his ear, let him know everything gonna be all right. I'll be there for the team. A lot of people probably hurt and confused about what happened and thinking that am I next, So I wanted to be around for that. But my message is just to realize you're a target, and this world is a hard place. It's a very, very, very harsh place, and I think sometimes we are shielded from reality. For better or worse, whatever the reason is, we can be. So just staying in the moment and realizing that, your life is more important than anything that you can wake up and put on. So just always keep that eye out, man, and just know that there's people out here that don't really value human life. You just gotta be aware of that.
And that's great. You know what? He's showing that, he supports Ricky Pearsall and what he went through. He's showing that, he's there for him. And it inspired him to want to come back. And that in itself, I think, is just incredible. A guy like Trent Williams being inspired by what happened to Ricky Pearsall. But look at Ricky. He's back. He introduced himself to him. And that made an impact on him. It really did. I love knowing that Ricky Pearsall was there today. It's just an inspiration. And I think it's an inspiration for everyone. And I think that's going to really bleed into the motivation this team has going into this season. I really do believe that. 100%. And when we come back, we have some more news about the San Francisco 49ers, including some news about a former draft pick and where he kind of ended up. You're watching the Midnight Mike.
Ready to generate more leads from your website, Google, and your social channels without having to spend money on ads? Our platform provides you with an easy-to-use communication stream that sucks in free leads from your website, Google, Facebook, and Instagram, enabling you to reply and convert them into customers from your computer or from our mobile app. We'll even turn your inbound calls into text message conversations, so you'll never miss another lead again. Once you've converted a satisfied customer, you can shoot them a Google review request with a click of a button, which will explode your positive reviews and increase your position in search engines. The system will also pull new reviews from Google and Facebook right into your conversation stream, where you can read and reply. Jumpstart your business by getting started today.
And so this... All right, so this show is brought to you by our sponsor, PowerBrandSystems. You saw the video right there. If you want to propel your small business or need help creating a website for your small business or your YouTube channel, then check out PowerBrandSystems. Dominic and Marco will not let you down. They are as professional gets. So definitely check out PowerBrandSystems. Use the referral link in the description below when making your first purchase of PowerBrandSystems. And on top of that, use the promo code 300POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase of Power Brand Systems. Now, with that being said, let's go to this little bit of footage here, which I thought was so amazing, which is Brandon Aiyuk on the practice field. Yeah, what's up? All right, I'm going to get hit with copyright with that one. But there he is. He's on the field right now with not only Brandon Aiyuk, but with CMC as well. There he is, CMC. And so if you're the Jets, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Just last week, they didn't have Brandon Aiyuk. Christian McCaffrey was out with a calf strain, and Trent Williams hadn't resigned yet. Now all three of them are back, which is freaking awesome. They are ready to rock down in Santa Clara, and I cannot wait for Monday night. I cannot wait. It's going to be such an electric atmosphere down there at Levi Stadium. But let's talk about the matchup between the Niners and the Jets. You're going to have Aaron Rodgers, which I think is probably one of the biggest stories going into this game. Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't played it down in 2 years, is going to go out there and play. That's insane. At his age, I don't know how effective he's going to be. Now, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get the job done to a certain degree, but I think that there's going to be a bit of rust coming off of his arm. And I think that early on, they are going to test the Niners' run defense. I think they're going to be hanging off the ball an awful lot early on in this game because they want to make sure to give Aaron Rodgers enough time to get warmed up, enough time to get into the rhythm of things. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think their biggest objective is to attack the 49ers run defense because we know from last year that was an area in which the Niners struggled against. They struggled against stopping the run. Another area we have to be concerned about is our defense against the bubble screens as well. Now, they do have Wilson, who's a really good receiver, but to me, I think that a lot of it's going to come based off the run. If they can run the ball against the Niners are going to have it's going to be a long day. Breece Hall is someone they have to be worried about. Obviously, he's their starting running back. He rushed for just under 1,000 yards last year. What did he average? Let's see. Stats. He averaged 4.5 a carry. That's pretty good. Pretty good. And 5 touchdowns as well. But he was at 994 yards, just under 1,000 yards. And now he's playing with Aaron Rodgers, who, I'm sorry, but if you're handing the ball off and you're Zach Wilson, that's not going to make a difference. He looked good at a celebrity golf jogging, slinging it. Okay, well, that's good. Good for him. But I think Breece Hall is the guy we got to be concerned about the most. I mean, he is their starting running back, and I think that they're going to lean heavily on him earlier on in the game. I really do. So perhaps that's where the Niners will show the difference they've made in the offseason by getting guys like Jordan Elliott, getting guys like Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd, who got the sack on Rodgers last year when he got hurt. But I think the defense itself, to me, I know others were saying that, this defense doesn't seem better. I think this defense is a lot better. It's more dynamic. It's deeper as well. And I think that that's the advantage they're going to have over the New York Jets. When you got Levondre Campbell, Fred Warner out there as well. D. Winters, he is banged up, but I think he's going to go. I think they're going to do a great job at shutting down that running game. Not to mention with Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa coming off the edge and Javon Hargrave and Malik Collins up the middle, that's nasty. That's a nasty defensive line. I can't wait to see what they're going to do against the Jets. But the Jets are no slouch. They have an outstanding defense. Their number one corner, Sauce Gardner, is a fucking savage, dude. Absolute savage. Their corners are very good. So they got Michael Carter. And you know who else is on that team right now? So Michael Carter, DJ Reed, and Sauce Gardner are your three corners. And those guys are top notch. Really, really fucking good. So they're going to give Brock Purdy a tough time. But again, I think that where the Niners are going to attack them is in the running game. They want to set that tone early. I think both teams are really going to try to establish their running game. But I think the Niners have too much talent on both sides of the field. And not to mention Isaiah Oliver is out there too. I swear to God, if they put Isaiah Oliver out there, they got to pick on him the same way teams picked on him when he was on the Niners. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. So going into this game, we know that Quinnen Williams is one of their top defensive linemen, and he'll be going up against Trent Williams, that's why I'm so glad that Trent's back. But he actually talked about Brock Purdy. Let me see if I can find that. He talked about Brock and that in a way he was, he admired him for the work that he's done. Let's go to that right now. There we go. All right, let's jump to that interview or that clip. And here it is right here. Oh, you know what? Let me redo it. It lost audio connection. Shoot, which one? Oh, there it is. I was like, where did it go? All right, and here it is right here.
What do you think of Purdy as a quarterback, Quincy?
Oh, man, I like him. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he get the recognition that, he deserves. Like, he's a great quarterback. He's also good with all the motions and things like that, getting to where he want everybody to be. I like him.
What do you think of Purdy as a quarterback, Quincy?
That's great.
Oh, man, I like him. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he get the recognition that, he deserves. Like, he's a great quarterback. He's also good with all the motions and things like that, getting to where he want everybody to be. I like him.
And he likes him. He's showing it's called mad respect. Quincy Williams on Brock Purdy. I said it was Quinn. It's Quincy Williams. This is the linebacker. Sorry, I misspoke on that. But even he sees that Brock Purdy is an elite talent. So I think that's where we're going to see two things. We're going to see the Niners attack them through the run game and play action like they normally do. But I think the Jets are going to lean heavily on Hall early in the game. And I think Breece Hall is going to get the load. And if they can establish their running game, that's going to open things up for Aaron Rodgers. So I think that the Niners are definitely going to look to shut down the running game. And we already have a good secondary. So I see this game. At the end of the day, I see the final score being 31-21 Niners. And I think that the Jets score a touchdown late in the game when it doesn't matter anymore. When they're down 31-14. And that's how I see it. 31-21 is my prediction for the final score for Niners and Jets Monday night, week 1. Okay, so as we wrap things up, let's take a listen to Brandon Aiyuk, who had some choice words to say about his contract hold-in. So let's go to that right now. Oh, whoops. There we go.
Practice that they were sounding very frustrated. What John said at that time, that once things get done, it's like kind of everything is forgotten. I don't know if you felt any bruised feelings during this time, but is it true? Like once everything's done, you're like, I love you all.
I think I'm not gonna lie, I made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to at the end.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it was like that from. I'm not gonna say the whole entire time, but for about the past month, I think we were pretty good.
Wednesday.
So that was interesting. But yeah, he did admit that, he made it a little harder than it needed to be. But at the end of the day, he got what he wanted, and the Niners got what they wanted, which was him back. So, and like we said earlier, when you look at the contract, the salary cap of this team, we're talking about a team that has roughly $60 million in salary cap space, is the leader in the league with the most salary cap space of any other team in the league. That in itself is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, there was a scoop dropped earlier today by Grant Cohn saying that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were on the hot seat, that the front office was not happy with them, not happy with how much they've been spending, not happy with the Aiyuk and Trent Williams contract holdout and hold-ins, and that it's Super Bowl or bust. I find that hard to believe. I find it, you can believe that from the sense of, we've given you a lot, you've got all these resources, all these players, all this talent, and you haven't won the Super Bowl yet. But Lynch and Shanahan have rebuilt this entire franchise. They have made this franchise a competitive franchise that it had been for years. Before they showed up, we were back in the dark ages. Those were the dark times. That was the Tom Sula, Chip Kelly era. And it was bad. Really bad. Really dark. But you're telling me that because they haven't won the Super Bowl, that these two are on the hot seat. Even though they've kept this team relevant since 2019, when we made the Super Bowl. This team has been in the conversation every year since then. They continue to find ways to be well under the salary cap. Almost $60 million under the salary cap. It'd be one thing if they were over the salary cap or just barely under it. They're like, man, we're spending a lot of money. We got to figure this out. But I think that the Niners have been competitive. They're entertaining. They have the best coaching staff, or one of the best coaching staffs. One of the best front offices. One of the best lineups, both defensively and offensively in the league. Yet, if they don't win the Super Bowl, you're going to blow everything up? You're going to get rid of Lynch or get rid of Shanahan? If that's the case, then who exactly is the replacement for either Lynch or Shanahan? It's not like you're going to get Jim Harbaugh. He's with the Chargers. So to me, there really isn't like that coach that's out there where you're like, hey, if we get rid of Shanahan, there's always this guy. It's not like Sean McVay is a free agent. Like he's not with the Rams anymore. So I think, they can complain about how much they're spending, but at the same time, they've done it efficiently. They're $60 million under the cap. I mean, come on. I mean, I know Grant Source got it right about Logan Smith and Jake Tonges. So when it comes to tight ends, I'd say, yeah, I think this guy's got, a good source when it comes to tight ends. But when it comes to this, I mean, I'm sure there's some people in the front office that have their gripes, have their complaints, but I don't see it as something that Lynch and Shanahan will be on a hot seat if they don't win this year. Because you can't just say they're on the hot seat when you have no one to replace them with. We've seen what happens when you fire somebody without anyone to replace them. When Trent Baalke fired Jim Harbaugh, or Jed York, whoever, when the organization fired Jim Harbaugh, and they knew for a fact that they did not want to move forward with Jim Harbaugh. They had to get rid of Jim Harbaugh. They had to get rid of him, and they knew we're going to move forward without Jim Harbaugh next year. The problem is that they didn't have a plan on who was going to replace him. And who did they end up with? The choices came down to Adam Gase and Jim Tom Sula. And look, Adam Gase is Adam Gase, but why you'd go with Jim Tom Sula over Adam Gase is just beyond me. Now, Adam Gase hasn't turned out to be a very good coach, head coach, that is. But at the time, he was the offensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos. So he was coming off a magnificent year with the Denver Broncos. But that's what happens when you start saying people are on the hot seat and we're going to fire you, or heads will roll if we don't win the Super Bowl. And I get it. Grant's a content creator. He's trying to stir up controversy, stir up conversation. And maybe there is some legitimacy to his source. But I just don't see it. I don't. This team has been relevant every year. And so I don't think they're in a situation where they say, hey, you know what? We didn't win it again. Let's change things up. I just don't see it. Because who's better? Who's a better head coach than Kyle Shanahan? Who's out there right now? Are you going to try to bring in Bill Belichick? No, I don't think so. No. So look, I love Grant and I love his content, but this is something I just don't agree with. I don't think there's much to this. I think it's more speculation, or it could be that there's certain individuals in the front office that do feel that way. But is it the general consensus? I don't think so. The team's too good. We're $60 million under the cap. I mean, what more do you want? They're not busting at the seams. The team is set up to win. They're set up to stay together for at least another 3 to 4 years. What more could you ask for? Well, I can tell you something that you don't want to ask for. I can tell you about a bullet they dodged. Trey Lance is quarterback number 3 in Dallas. Now, I think Trey Lance is an incredible talent who just needs more time. But could you imagine if we still had Trey Lance as our quarterback? Who knows where this team would be at? Who knows where Trey Lance would be at? Maybe he'd be better. Maybe he wouldn't be better. But thank God for Brock freaking Purdy. Last pick in the draft, stepped in when he had to, and now he's a franchise quarterback. Unbelievable. And Trey Lance, he's still trying to figure it out. It's a sad story when it comes to Trey Lance. But I think one day he'll find his way as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We go live with the Midnight Mike multiple times a week. I'll be live again Thursday night. And I'll probably do one more broadcast on Friday night as well to get us ready for the NFL season. So definitely check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on X. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube as well. All under Dre Area Sports. And tomorrow, tune in at 11 a.m. Pacific time over on IE Sports Radio. Check out that channel over on YouTube. I'll be live for the NorCal Sports Report. We're going to be covering all sports that apply to Northern California. And that's going to be a whole lot of fun over on IE Sports Radio, your home for everything sports. Guys, this video was brought to you by PowerBrandSystems. If you're looking to take your small business into the future, they have a platform in which it will bring in all of your reviews from either Google or Facebook. Their platform will help you generate more leads, more revenue. You need help with a website? They can do that as well. Check out Power Brand Systems. Use the referral link in the description below and use promo code 300POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase of Power Brand Systems. Sean, my good buddy, good stuff as always. Thank you for watching, Sean. I really appreciate that. He's a badass. He really, really is. Guys, that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank everyone who came out today. I want to thank all the viewers that came out today. If you want to support the channel, we also have a Patreon as well. Yes, we have a Patreon set up for Dre Area Sports. It's in the description below, and that's a great way to support the channel. I'm going to start posting more and more stuff on there. News, transactions, everything I can possibly find when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers and Bay Area sports. Check out IE Sports Radio. Tomorrow, I'll be live with them at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Go to nicotina.net and join the community for Dre Area Sports. When you do that, make sure you download the Collab app by Lead Connector. Collab is available on both Android and Apple, iPhones, iPads, all that shit. So check that out. Then you'll have updates to be able to interact with me, CJ Ruthless, Daniel, my brother, Dre, all there on the app. All there. Or like I said, go to Patreon and support us there. The link is down below. But that's going to do it for the show, you guys. Thank you for coming out. And I'll be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. with IE Sports Radio, the NorCal Sports Report. And I'll be back on this channel live on Thursday night for another episode of The Midnight Mike. And with that being said, I will catch you guys next time. Peace!